Hi, my name's James Marshall and we're today looking at the Agile Body. So in this section we're building on what we did in the strong body and the adaptable body, adding combinations and challenging your athletes' coordination and their ability to move at different height levels, different pathways and putting movements together. We look at speeding up some movements and going from fast to slow, as well as from the ground up and down. And we teach a couple of more advanced type roles for them, building on what they've done. Everything's progressing from the ground up and it builds on what they've done previously. So it is safe if you follow the progressions, okay? Don't start at some of the latter ones. And this allows your athletes to react to the events in the game. So for example, if they're knocked down playing football, quite often you see people trip and go backwards. And if they've never rolled backwards in training, the first time to do it in this game, they're more likely to get hurt. So this helps them become more adaptable and agile around the pitch or court, and also which helps them avoid injury, and two, allows them to get back into the game quicker. All right, so you can put these in at different times of training, like in the warm-up or earlier on in the week, and see how it leads for them. Okay, be safe, follow the progressions, and have fun.
So now we've done some rolling, we've done some walking and stretching so your body's moving. Now we're going to do some jumping. So jumping, curl, stretch, curl. Okay, so when you land, we talk about receiving force, and that's ankles, knees and hips bend or curl for today's purposes. So, bend or curl, stretch. Okay, so that's a simple jump. You then can move different directions. And as I'm going to do it, I'm going to stretch this one leg now. There, lost balance. Curl, stretch, curl. Shouldn't do it while I'm talking. So, curl, stretch, curl. Okay, so that's hopping or bounding from one foot to the other. Hopping is when you do the same foot. That's quite hard for the balance. So, now if you add a twist to it, curl, stretch, and I'm going to twist, half turn. So you swing your arms that way. That was a half turn, sorry, a full turn. Or there, and lose balance a bit there, okay? So careful if you're doing this indoors that you've got enough space. So then this is getting that more springiness into your body, So, then you can go gradually wider and wider apart. And as you see as I go, as you see as I go wider, this leg has to stretch more. So you need to be warm. So, there. Okay? Or you can do it 2 feet. There. Let's get more power into your legs, ready for the other things. So that's side to side. Then you can do the same thing going forward. Okay, that was 2 feet, 1 foot to the other foot. This is really handy when you're going for a walk and you have to jump over a stream. And as you can see there, I'm twisting this way. My legs are straightening that way. My hands are going out to the side, but if I change my hand direction, see what happens. Oh, that just creates more resistance. So make sure you have your landings solid first, so you're landing on one foot, then the next. If in doubt, if your knees or ankles or hips are sore, land on 2 feet. Just do this 2-footed variations at the moment. And then you can do it sideways. Sideways there. So you can move that way. Or you can do what's known as a stag jump, where the front leg is curled, rear leg is straight, or as straight as I can make it. You see, I'm puffing a little bit, so the more you do of those, or the harder you jump, then you're going to get more of a workout from that. If your ankles, knees and hips are stiff, or you're a bit worried about something, you don't have to go as far. I still make the same shape, the less distance and time in the air, the less force is going into the ground. All of those are just variations you can do for a limited space. So be safe first, and then as your confidence goes, you can go further and further. Okay, so as you see, I have some gloves on the floor here, just to show that we're going to move now some different movement on our feet in these directions. So if we imagine point to the compass, north, northeast, east, southeast, south, southwest, west, northwest, and back to the middle. I'm not patronising you with the point of the compass, but it's just to show there's these many spaces. So when I follow up, you'll know where we're going from there. So now using our point of the compass, we're going to do different movements, starting with a jump. Remember, I will do progressions, but if you've got anything wrong with your ankles, knees and hips, 2-foot landing is better than a 1-foot landing. And also, if you are short of space, you can get the same benefit from going up rather than just forward. Okay, so remember you can go up and down. Okay? The less far you travel, the less impact it is on your joints. Okay? The further you travel, the bigger the challenge. So 2 feet jumps first. You can jump into it and jump back, or you can jump into it and step back. Obviously, jumping into it and out of it is twice as much work as jumping into it and stepping back. So you might want to step back at first. That's quite simple. So space. So we can add a half turn in it. Remember last class we did twists? So you can add a different turn. That's a quarter turn, I think. So as you can see, I started off simple, and then I was trying to make more challenging twists and turns. So by now your heart rate should be up a bit, so we'll just try and add a little bit of challenge. We can do a step, but we'll do something at the end. So if I step, touch the floor for example. That was 2 left steps. I think I mowed a right step now. All I did was step into it, bend, touch the floor. That's something. You can also use that same movement to explore the space with a jump, touch, jump back, jump, touch, back. This time I'm going to lift my feet off the floor as well. Almost like a burpee going around now. So I extended back on that one, or I can keep everything there. Oh. That was 1 before. I didn't jump first then. Jump, hands, down, back, or if you're feeling more adventurous, hands, and back. So the squatting and then hands down. Weight on, and jump back. It's more of a leg exercise, or turning. There. Feet off the floor slightly is obviously more upper body. Okay, so Chris, just for the purpose of Chris, we're only going to use 4 points of the compass now. North, east, south and west. Remember, you don't have to do the ones in between. 4 points of the compass is enough to start off, because that's only 4 repetitions. I think I was doing 8. Okay, so first of all I want to do is just jump. Back, west, east, sorry. Yeah, middle, yeah. So now I want you to jump and touch the floor. Yeah. Good. And you see Chris is younger and springier than me. Did you see him springing in and out of it? Okay. Good. Now I want you to step and put your weight on your hands. Good. Yeah, good.
I'm going to have to twist it up.
That's right. Whoa. Don't think you worked quite hard enough there. So now I want to step and put your chest on the floor. Oh, still 1 foot. That's it. Yeah, that's it. There we go. Good. That's it. Back sideways. Raise and step. Got to step into it. That's it. Chest on the floor. Oh, now he's having to work. There we go. That's it. Step. Chest on the floor. There we go. Good. One more. Step. Chest on the floor. Okay? Yeah. So just as we had young Chris working there, if you're just going, so he was stepping, weight down, chest down, back, stepping, weight down, chest back up. I snuck in 8 press-ups for him without him realising. That is a lot more interesting than just doing press-ups like that. And also, just because you're moving in between, you're not having to do all in one go. It's a bit more relevant. Shake off your hands and wrists. So now we've done those movements, we can do different movements, even around the compass, skipping. Sideways. You can skip in different directions. Remember, in your sitting room it's quite short, the work increases by the distance. So if you are going in the garden, bigger distances, then you can do that. Linking back to what we did in class 3 as well. Remember we talked about ankles, knees and hips curling to reduce force. You can start moving a bit faster. For those of you who play team sports or pitch and court, that's an agility workout there. So you can do that. Remember, or not remember, you might not know that every time you're doing these actions here, breaking and extending, the muscles stretching and contracting at the same time, so you get more muscle soreness than you would if you just did it controlled. So just be careful about the speed ones. Then remember all the other different types of movements we can do. You can cartwheel in all of these. And walk back. Cartwheel in the different directions. Yeah, I don't need to go all the way around, but you can show that. Or you can even, if you've got enough outside of the garden on the grass, you can roll. Try and change the roll I do as I go sideways and back. And as I go to this corner here, I roll in the direction of travel. Here would be a backward roll. Well, a little bit. Just worried about the space there. And then different rolls around the movement. This is a good one to practice your cartwheels. Now we've got this pathway. So I am a lefty, so I want to go this way. I'm going to start with my left leg forward, put my left hand down first. Okay, so I just go here. And I'm working around the curve. It gives you a good idea about moving around here. Notice I haven't spun yet. So I'll get used to that way. And this time I'm going to turn round. Okay, so I'll go hand, hand, foot, foot. Hand, hand, foot, foot. So it gives you an idea
of working up again. I'll show you again. Okay, so foot, hand, and I turn up like that. And that gives you an idea of how to turn around on the cartwheel. Let's leave the feet a moment and just do arm circles. So do 5 one way, 5 the other way. Okay, so circle below the knees, above the head. See, I'm bending my legs a bit more. That's the squat action. And the other way. Okay, so you've got that arm action. Now, what happens when I add a step? So after the squat, as my arms come up, my arms come up. Okay, so don't have to, I don't want to micromanage you too much, more want to discover so you get it right. So just circle your arms. Like that. I'm adding a bit of a squat there. You don't need the squat, you can do it a bit more upright. Here we go. And that might aid, you might feel that you go a bit. Now I was controlling my arms, so I was sort of limiting myself by my arms. If I start feeling that I'm going to throw my arms like that, see what happens to the movement. You see, so I'm throwing, it aids me moving. You see I'm going from a step to a leap. A leap is when you go off the floor, step, one foot's always on the floor. A leap is when you're going there, there, there. So, watch my arms. And now watch my feet. Okay, the arm's going to do the same thing. There's a slight slope going up here and slight downward there, so it makes a difference. So, you're thinking, well, that's all right. Just be careful of the lampshade if you're doing it indoors. Now let's add a turn to that. So if I go, arm, turn, arm, turn. I did that wrong way around. Let's see if I can do that without talking. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just turning. I'm adding a turn in there. I added one turn too many, I think. So that's going to lead me up and down. There we go. I did turn more. So my arms here, I'll show you. My arms are just going up and round, adding that to the movement of the turn. Up and round. The other way. Up and round. When you're turning any time, you don't want your arms out here because it slows you down. So you just want to turn. My hands are up like this, and that causes a tighter rotation like this. It allows you to turn. Let's try that again. You notice I'm stopping. So I'm stopping there and here, there. So I'm stopping the arms. Now, what happens if I have a bit more space and I can go? Make sure you've got plenty of space in case it goes wrong. Here we go. Don't know where I am now, but there we go. I didn't quite, harder to control that, so do make sure you have that outdoors, you've got plenty of space and a soft surface. Let's try that again. So we're going to go up and round, then up and then round, then up and round. So you can do it walking, go back, come back the other way to stop the dizziness going on. All right, and I'm going to start down this end now, just to go uphill. Let's try another fast one. Okay, so once you've got the idea, so we're going to go up, round, continuous. Well, I did 2 in a row there. So try a few of those, and then make sure you turn around the opposite way to stop your head from spinning. Karaoke, here we go, down. Oh, there we go. That was a bit of a bump. Karaoke, here we go. Which foot's forward there? Karaoke, carry on. So that's the dancer's roll. Start from the bottom, work your way up. Right, so now we've got different combinations of movements here. So still doing sideways, we're going to go like we did the other lesson, high, medium, low. So medium is everything, most of the actions, arms and stuff, happening in hip and shoulders. Low is below the knees, and high is above the shoulders. So if I go low, high, finish in medium. So I'm going to go step into a sideways lunge, lunge, high, low. Okay, so I'm going low, high, low. And there's not much medium stuff going in there. Or we can do, we can do different combinations. So for example, skipping, high, skipping, high with a turn. Okay, so then I've put a medium level action with a high, medium. We can start high with a jump, medium, and then high again. So for example, I could go high, medium, high. And that's all happening on the same pathway there, even though I'm doing this turn. We talked about in the clock or the compass one, where we're braking here, you can change the level as you change direction. So I'm going to go there, I'm going to go high, high, and then I can go medium, back. I could even turn and low there and carry on. So what I did there was high this way, medium this way, low that way. High, medium, low. So you see the different heights. And once you think about that, am I going to do high, medium, low, high, medium, low, or any combination of those, then suddenly your body's challenged and you've got all these different combinations you can try. And that's what you can do now. Low, medium, high, high, medium, low, and the directions, and have fun creating your own combinations. Now, we're going to do, so when we're walking is an asymmetrical movement. You see from the front, I'm not symmetrical here. If you jump forward like this, that's symmetrical. So any sort of normal locomotor action, we call it, like skipping, is asymmetrical. Jumping. I land symmetrically, but even there, as you can see, my body leans to the side. So even to generate the side movement, I'm going slightly asymmetrical. So what we think might be normal symmetry isn't really normal symmetry. So how can we challenge that then? So we've got the normal walking, okay, and here my feet are going apart, so close together, apart, close together, apart, close together, apart. When I do a cartwheel, my feet stay apart. Watch that again. My feet stay apart. But what happens if I try and bring my feet together? You see, I clip my heels together. So you can do that just by putting joy into your steps walking around the place. So, symmetrical. All right? So I'm going to walk towards the camera. Just having a normal day, then I'm trying to be symmetrical. I think I went off to one side there. So a heel click is a good way of just adding some pizzazz to your normal movement. Pizzazz is an underused term. Okay. If you're really happy, you can walk and do one on each side. Yeah. And if you're really, really happy, you can try and do two clips. It's quite hard to do this. Oh, can't do that. So you challenge yourself to be really happy. Oh, can't quite do that. Okay? So just try now a double heel click. Clap your heels together. Lesson. So our arcs are that. When we do arcs here, and then if you look at how my legs switch now, there. Can you see that? So that's just basically what we did there. That's what we're trying to do. So you're trying to train your back muscles to flex down and then extend. So your back is acting like a whip. Okay, so I'll try that again. There, like that. And again, all of these are training exercises just to get your body used to doing it. So try that one way and then another way. So you circle down, and then my balance is going like this. So your balance is going there, there. So I've got a two-footed base of support. I bend down and then I would like to stumble, but instead of stumbling, I lift this leg up first and then the other leg. You see that? So I'll demonstrate it going up this way. Harder going up the hill. And surface is a bit slippy now, so I want to be careful going down the hill. There. Okay. And what I did then was, as I went down, although my head was looking up, I'm spotting the floor. So that's an example of losing balance. So we're trying to put the sequence together. And again, so let's try that again. So I'll try this T balance, going back to here, into hands there, or I can lean, just lean, lean, and round. All right, so then we can just put the sequences together. So we're trying to put the relationship of different movements together and seeing how our legs change. So I will now go, see if I can go arc to butterfly to cartwheel. Okay, and so let's try and put those together now. So for example, you need a bit more space for this one, so we're outdoors. So I'm going to go arc to butterfly kick to cartwheel. That's what I'm going to try anyway. I messed that up slightly because I was too vertical on the butterfly kick. Okay, so I'll try that again. So strangely enough, quite dizzy doing that, so you want to make sure you have space and a soft landing for in case that you get that wrong. So I'm not going to talk while I do it. Oh, that was better. So that's just a 3-move sequence put together based on that and arcs with hands there. So I'll show you a modified one there. We can do arc, which we did. Just try leg switch there, and then hands down, sweep your leg round, sweep your leg back to there. Okay, so you can do a modified version there. Warm up. We're going to do, I'll show you some ideas, and then you're going to do 3 jumps, 3 balances, 3 something on your hands. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands here. So a jump, 2 foot, 2 foot to 1 foot, 1 foot to 1 foot, 2 feet, hopping, hopping. Okay, so these are all different types of jumps, and then you can have fun just trying to find out 3 different jumps if you want. I'll do a few. You can either copy along, I'm not going to talk as I do it, or you can try your own ones. Okay, so you recognise that one? That's hopscotch. So you can jump in multiple ways, or you can change direction. So as I'm warming up, I'm doing like little bunny rabbit type jumps there, and as you get warmer you can start jumping a bit more vigorously. Or quickly. Or you can do quick ones to big ones. Okay? You don't want to do too many in a row, but just find some different ways of jumping. So when we come back to our tension and relaxation, if you look at the jumps now you've just warmed up a bit, to here I'm relaxed here, but then the muscles tense there, and then relax here. So it's like cushioning, but don't completely relax, so you have to cushion the landing before you then tense and relax again. Okay? What I don't want to do is really tense my arms during the jump. I fling them forward to help me, and then relax, so the arms are aided. If you do it with tension in the arms, well, I've used twice as much energy as I needed, which might be helpful if you're trying to lose weight because you use twice as many calories, but really it makes it really stiff and inefficient. Conversely, you need tension in your feet when you land. I'm not even going to try and land with floppy feet because I don't want to sprain my ankles. But I just need to land so my toes and then the heels land and I sink down. If your toes, imagine just if all your toes are floppy and you just go over like that, which is not what we want to do. So we do need tension in the feet. And you pull your toes up. So I land, ball, heel like this. And I can do that by controlling my feet. So it's hard to demonstrate or explain. You just have to have a couple of goes of that now. Just feeling that you're landing on the balls of your feet there and then down. Just try that. So building on our jumps, your heart and lungs are working harder now and these big muscle groups are getting warm. Now I'm going to work on the balances. So we've done this before. Just remember, that is a balance. That is a balance. This is a balance. We did the T balance, if you remember the T balance. That's the easier variation. And then the hard variation, I'll do it on my bad leg as well, is I'm blaming the wind. Okay, so you've got balances there. Remember, that's all of those were on one leg, but you can have one hand and one leg balance. Or balance lower down to the ground. There. And if you fall, it's less of a problem. So the balances, just one leg, don't have to be all these static ones. You're just getting used to exploring. Now, less classic ones here. And then remember going down and then up. We just pause for 3 seconds. So you want to try 3 different balances. Once you've got your 3 different balances, then we go on to moving on your hands. So moving on your hands doesn't mean just trying to do handstand walks, like I can't do very well. It can do something like this. So start low to the ground because we're just warming up. And it means just putting my hands on the floor first, then moving around. You can go in a straight line. You can go backwards. Or you can just crawl. Or you can do your pivots. Or you can do little bunny hops. Or you can do elephant walks. Legs straight on this. We haven't done this one before. So an elephant walk is where you put your legs down straight. And you might, like this one here, I'm trying to push the heels almost into the ground here. Okay, you've got to be reasonably flexible to do this. Push your heels down into the ground like this. And lift your bum up in the air as much as possible. Anything of those variations where your hands are on the floor as you move. So now, just jumping onto the curb, or as I said with the beam, you just get a feeling of the tension in the feet. So now you can do some rapid, energetic, bunny-like feet. I am neither rapid nor energetic, nor am I like a bunny, but you're younger and fitter than me, so hopefully you will. So here we go. And if you look, I'm bringing my feet up and down. Try not to use my thighs too much, just so my knees are straighter and my hips are straighter, and it's all coming from the ankles. Okay, that's tension from the feet. You can see your first attempt might look something like this. You'll know you get it wrong because your legs start aching around the knees. Okay, so that's just all killing the ground. Whereas here, I'm doing 2 feet at a time, quick and energetic, like this. Children will be really good at this. Or I can then do it alternate feet, like this, quicker and more energetic, like that. And remember, we don't have to go forward, so we can go across, sideways like that. Remember when we did karaoke? Same feeling. That's energetic. Just try some energetic jumps up on your feet. So those are the rapid, energetic bunny ones. Now we'll do more, I don't know what jumps big and slow. More like a frog, I don't know. So we're going to try and use these muscles now, so you can jump high and land. Try and jump high and land. The grass is damp, so I'm not going to try and do a long jump and then watch me skid. I'll try and do like a reasonably jump over something. There. And talking of jumping over something, sometimes it just helps having a visual marker. Alright, so you can then think, oh right, how can I jump over this? I'll do a big one that way. I'll do a big one sideways. Do a big one backwards. Okay, you only take a few of those and you feel that you're working. So you want to do 100 big jumps. It's definitely not what we want to do. But what you can then do, as we always like doing, is combining the big jumps with the rapid jumps. So hopefully your legs are all safe after those big jumps. So now what happens when you combine? Okay, so I'll do some, that was a hopping forward and then jumping over. Did I kick the cone or was that the wind? If I kicked it, that's a terrible demonstration, I apologise. Right, so we can do 2 feet rapid, big. So you imagine you're running away from the saber-toothed tiger, you've got to run fast and then jump over a river. There. Okay? So you run fast, jump over the river, run fast. There. So the tension is springy feet to start off with, relax in the air, cushion the landing. Try one more again, and then you can just add different shapes in the air. Make sure you got your landing right. So even you'll be thinking, he's not jumping very high, far or fast. That's okay, I want to be safe. But you can even do like even less than that. Same idea. Tension, tension, tension. Land, okay? Always a good idea to land on 2 feet after these big jumps. Alright, please, please, please don't try landing on one after the big jump, at least not in initial stages of training. We don't want anyone getting hurt, and if you land on 1 foot and your knee goes this way and your foot goes the other way, that's when bad things happen. So always try and land on 2 feet, but it doesn't mean you can't change direction in the air. And I landed there, okay? So when you combine this with everything else we've done, do you remember we did our asymmetrical and symmetrical shapes? You can add arm movements in there. I don't know why I've still got this cone, but anyway. So you can go symmetrical shape in the air. Wasn't quite symmetrical for you pedants there, I know. Or you can do asymmetrical, like that. So, just a few quick energetic movements, big jump, land. Try a few of those. So, these then gives you the tension. So then we put together what we've done already today. So jumps, we're learning to tense, move rapidly, relax on our hands and feet. So going back right to the beginning, or nearly the beginning anyway. So here I'll just put some jumps, balances, something on my hand, and the tension and relaxation, right? So. That's just some random stuff put together, but you've got all of those moves down, and then you can just play around and have some fun and joy moving. Thanks for watching.